Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we have been doing a lot of podcast on becoming a product manager, right? So today I want to throw more light on, let's say, for early PMs and who want to upskill in their career as a product manager. So I have invited Abhijeet, who is working as a senior product manager at Assurekit, and I have met him during my GrowthX learning experience, right? So he's a very awesome person. So let's get into the video. Abhijit, if you can give a quick introduction about you for our audience.
And before the short intro, Manoj, you are doing a great job. Creating these videos, contents for the younger generation to help them understand what is product management and the related stuff. So I've watched almost all of your videos and podcasts, and I feel proud that there is a young guy who's sitting out there and apart from his regular day-to-day activity, job, and everything, you're trying hard to set all this. So proud of you, man.
Thank
And
you.
coming back
Because
to
personally, I have faced these problems, right? So that's why I want to put this out, right, for others, so that it becomes their journey becomes easier.
I'm glad that you're doing it out there. So kudos to you. Coming back to my what you can say, a brief introduction. The journey started in 2012 when I got selected in an MNC and started my career as a software developer. And post that, I have transitioned into various roles, as a front end developer to a QA guy, and finally, I moved into the product management role. And since then, I'm into product management. The simple reason is I just love it. I mean, मजा आता है create करने में to to create something which actually solves problem for the end customers and user. So that's a part.
Got it. So,
Uh,
and the next question I had is like, all, hello.
yeah, audible.
So the next question I had is always the journey is like not very straightforward, right? I saw that you had into software development, then you transition to a product manager role, right? If you can throw more light on like what are the problems you face when you are transitioning from software development to product management. Was there more like demand, right? So currently product management is a role which is at a hype and there's a lot of
Yes.
competition out. So what was your journey at that time?
So way back in 2013-14, the resources are not that readily available, to be honest. And when I got the chance to create a new product, the core reason behind was the passion. I mean, more from a technical and logical skills and all those stuffs. I got that tool because of the passion to create the product. So I thought, I still think that uh, this the soft skill of having that passion, having that desire to do something is more important than your tech skill, because all those technical things can be learned, can be practiced and everything. But if you don't have the passion, if you don't have the desire, it's of no use. So when at the time 2000, in 2014, it was like, chalo just banate hain. Just create the product, just create the design and everything without any critical frameworks. Like it was just like a simple project which you guys, you're sitting with a bunch of guys and you're just brainstorming, ideating and all those things without actually focusing on the templates, on the frameworks. uh, Story point कितना होता है, क्या नहीं होता है. It was not like that. It was just like कुछ अच्छा बनाते हैं and let's see क्या end customers क्या बोल रहे हैं and everything. So it was like that at the initial phases. And then, to be honest, I have learned product management in a hard way. So, failing multiple times, understanding from your mistake and from someone else's mistake also, that ये नहीं करना है यार, ये इस पे टाइम चला जाता है या फिर इसमें वेस्टेज हो जाता है and all those things. So I learned in a hard way, to be honest. And in current scenario, the information is readily available, but there is a bigger problem. that because of information overload is already there, that there are various books, multiple podcasts, multiple videos. So as a keen learner, sometimes I feel uh, they might be getting confused that kisko follow kare. There are 100 people, 10 are saying in this way, other are saying in that way. क्या करूं क्या नहीं करूं and everything. So मेरे टाइम पे थोड़ा इजी था, इंफॉर्मेशन ओवरलोड नहीं था, so that made my life easy at that moment of time.
Got it. I think previously there was no information. Now there's too much information. So,
Correct. So yeah.
and the next question I had is, what are the top skills of a product manager, right? So let's say you would have hired people. So what are the top skills you look when you are hiring a product manager?
So uh, I will divide that question into two parts. One is technical skills, and one is the non-technical or the softer skills. Normally, when I get the resume, I focus on the non technical skills, because, as I mentioned earlier, technical skills you can groom, like you can practice upon that. You can sharpen those technical skills and everything. But your behavioral skills, your mindset, your attitude is something which is not that easy to like change or adapt to the situation and everything. So I prefer that as a person, if I'm looking at a particular resume, I focus on the non-technical side, that beyond work, what she has done or he has done or achieved, the way they have handled the team, the kind of output or the outcome they have generated. So I focus on all those aspects more. And while taking the interview, also I try to get the personal aspects, like how you handle the pressure, and all those softer aspects. And it tells a lot about the character of that person, that if that person is in my team and if I'm not there, will he or she will be able to handle the situation or not. Because being a product manager, you don't have to just document everything or create tasks and all those things. In reality, most of your time is going to spend on these conflicts, like firefighting mode and all those things. So I prefer those guys rather than a person who is like highly skilled, but when the tough situation come, he's like मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा. It's too much of work or something like that.
Got it. But just like a follow-up question, right? So let's say if you are hiring a fresher, let's say APM role, right? In that case, how will you hire a APM, right? What are the skills you might look at the fresher, because he might not have that experience of
Definitely.
handling this situations. So
Correct.
in that case, what are the things you will look at?
Generally, when I'm hiring for a APM, the best skill trait is how curious that person is. Because if you're not curious, you won't be asking questions. Simple. And if you're not asking question, you will either summarize certain things, or you will maybe you're not understanding it and you're not asking the question. You will assume a lot of things, and because of your assumption, whenever you are handling a particular feature, smaller feature or something like that, uh, you will try to add your own things rather than what should be the standard, what is the design framework which is out there already decided, and you will try to change it or not cover all those things. So if you're not curious, I won't hire you, first of all, because skill is something which I'm not looking into a APM, because he's just coming out of the college, or maybe like 2 or 3 year experience. And the second thing is the problem solving attitude, not the skill part, because skill is something which you will build up again and again. You must have solved or you have created multiple features or product, then it's easier for you. But if you don't have the mindset to solve problem, that is a difficult or different situation for the fresher. So I tend to highlight on these 2 points whenever I'm taking an interview for a APM role.
And the next thing I have is, what are the mistakes, right? Generally, early PMs should avoid in their career, so what happens is, PM is something that's a very different job. Maybe it changes according to company,
Correct.
stage of the company, type of the company, B2B, B2C. What are some of the mistakes that early PM should avoid?
I mean, as I've mentioned, I have learned in a difficult way. So I have uh, a different experience rather than the current PMs, which are already aware of the situation and everything because of the information which is already there. But I think they should avoid the biasness. Like, मैंने तो बुक में पढ़ा है, मैंने फ्रेमवर्क देखा है, it should work according to that. Ideally, no, it will work according to the situation. So don't get biased. Don't have that preconception that this will work in this way. This has to work in this particular way. No, there are other ways also. So don't just get attached to a particular framework or a book or a concept. Try to adapt and adjust according to the situation. Because if you're not doing it, someone else will do that in some other way. So be adaptive, be agile. You are following an agile process, so be agile, as a person also. And apart from that, obviously, learning from, as I've mentioned, learning from your mistake and learning from someone else's mistake. And this will happen if you collaborate, if you get on a conversation with other PMs, or maybe aspirants also. You will understand the perspectives, and with that, you will be a better person to take wiser decisions.
Got it. As you had talked about frameworks, right? So frameworks are very popular nowadays. Rice framework is there, Circle framework is there. There are multiple
Correct.
frameworks out there. So are frameworks really important, right? So because let's say some courses teach frameworks, and let's say while coming to the job, uh, that frameworks may or may not be useful, or it depends, right? So just breaking down the question clearly: one, are frameworks really important to learn? And two, do PMs really use framework in their day-to-day job to solve problems, or just they learn it for the interview purpose?
To be honest, 100% honest, yes, framework helps, but it's not the only weapon in your arsenal. It's one of the tool which you can, or you can consider it as a guiding light. Like, it's a framework, but you should be able to adapt it accordingly to the situation. For example, if you want to break a particular framework, if not break, obviously tweak that framework. Please do it. Like, no, don't just stick to a particular framework and blindly just because someone किसी की ने तो बोला है तो मैं तो करूंगा पक्का. नहीं करना यार. And most of the time when you're taking a decision in 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 a day-to-day activity or in the situation, you don't really follow the framework. You take the decision and then you try to apply a framework that is it making sense or not, and everything. But most of the time, it's according to the situation. Most of the time, so it's as I've mentioned that do PM take help of framework? Yes, definitely. But I'm not guy who's gonna take a framework blindly. I will tweak it and recreate it according to the current need, according to the team or the situation.
Got it. I think the summary is frameworks are like you can use it as reference, but you have to take decision based on the context, situation,
Correct.
user
Correct.
persona, and
Definitely.
problems.
Definitely. Because the person who created that framework might have faced different problems what you are facing in your current organization. So don't try to fit a particular framework in your team or company. It won't help. And that
Got
is the
it.
main reason people have created multiple frameworks because they have faced no, way too different problems.
Yeah, correct. And the next thing I had is okay, let's say now if someone has completed 1 2 year as a product manager or associate product manager, right? So there's lot of problem when they even try to transition. I mean, go to the next job or switch their jobs, right? So in that, what are how should they highlight their experience in their resumes?
Okay, so I have an interesting take on that. Try to take your resume as a product. Consider your resume as a product or a feature which you are building or which you are will delivering, and don't think about yourself that whatever you want to add or whatever information you're already having, you just want to just add it on the resume. Think about the end user of that resume. That person is going to be the HR or the hiring manager, the technical manager, or a PM, whatever. think about that. When they are reading your resume, is it gonna highlight your persona or not? In that sense. So the moment you start breaking down your resume segment by segment, a bit of UI UX, the font which you are using, the numbers which are easy to represent, try to show those numbers, because it's easier for the human eye to understand and imagine with those numbers. So use a bit of psychology and all those things. So whenever I get a resume considering all those facts now, it's a quick pick for me, because it reflects that that person thought about you as an employee. That I will make your life easy by creating a resume in such a way that you can read it, you can understand whether you are want to hire me or not. That's a different question, but at least I will make your life easy for those 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute when you are screening through my resume. So my preference is like that. The moment you start treating your resume as a product, if you are a product guy specifically, you will get highlighted, and it will reflect your thought process behind it. That this guy is different. So my take is simple on that.
Yeah, so it's like building your own product. Resume is your
Yes,
product,
it's
right?
a reflection. I mean, no matter you have created a single feature or not, this is the first thing which is going to get reflected. So take use of that as a branding tool.
Got it. And next is like, let's say PMs work with different teams, right? Like developers, designers, marketers, etc. Right? How to collaborate with different teams, because PM acts as a single source of information or
Correct.
truth. Let's say when there's some feature or product that's built, so he would have the complete context, but other teams may or may not have. So how to
Mm.
better collaborate with different teams so that the product is built and launched successfully?
Uh, so first of all, try to create those, strong bond, the personal bonds with your teammates, because the moment that bond is gets created, it creates the trust factor. So maybe it's a verbal communication or maybe it's a written communication. They will not just read those lines blindly. They will try to understand your feeling behind it. कि small gesture, if they understand कि यार कुछ critical होगा तभी तो अभिजीत बोल रहा होगा ना, let me again take it. The moment you become authoritative, it's a different situation. To try to create that bond which create trust automatically. And whenever I'm communicating with my team members, I make sure that after that verbal communication and everything, I make sure that I'm commenting on the tickets. Like, rather being a lazy guy, just add that extra information so that after 2 or 3 days, whenever someone else, maybe the QA guy, maybe you yourself, you're aware of the current or the recent context. And I have created or inculcated that kind of behavior in my entire team, be it developer, be it designer, or be a person from the product team. They are always communicating through verbal channel, but they make sure that at the end of the day or after that conversation, they document it somewhere, so that there is always a context in the form of documentation or maybe ticket and everything. And don't just write it for the sake of writing it. It should reflect that you care for that particular feature. You have that care for the entire product, and that is why you need this particular thing. That is why you need a developer to work a bit more extra or to push so that this feature gets delivered, and he will understand. Like, as a human, we understand that okay, there is a need, there is a necessity. So I manage in that way. First, to create bonds with the team members, and second is daily communication, like with the teams. Maybe it's a 5 minute call, maybe it's a 10 minutes call. Just be there, try to understand their emotion, their situation, and everything. It's not always work. You can go beyond it, and it will help you, to be honest, as a PM.
So I think just one is stress, taking ownership, and also establishing relationship, and also communicating or documenting even smaller things, like being
Yes,
transparent in terms of
correct.
communication. Got it. When does a company hire a product manager, right? So I know when does company hire software developer, or let's say when does company hire data scientist, but when does a company hire a product manager?
I mean, if you say, I mean, let me give you an example. For example, if you have the funds and everything, obviously you will be hiring the at least one senior PM or a starting PM, experienced PM to be honest, in your team before hiring anyone, because he will be the guy who is creating the plans and everything. The moment a developer comes into your picture, into your team, they have something to develop. They have something to read and understand. They have the basic wireframes, if not the designs. But in most of the companies, CEO plays that PM role. That, ये करना है, ऐसे करना है. So in a way, you always have a PM, at least in the startup, in a form of CEO or maybe the CPO or something like that. And once they are convinced with their idea, they hire the PM so that they can take it ahead in a much focused way, so that the developers don't have to come to the CEO for the daily updates and the queries and everything. But in a matured system, normally, uh, when your what you can say your MVP or your PMF is achieved, basically, to be honest, then you start hiring and expanding the product team, because then you have to go in depth, rather, because in the MVP you have touched the surface and you have delivered a product which is good to go for the further series and everything. But then you start hiring the PM, and if when you reach out to the enterprise scale, obviously there is a dedicated team and everything. So based either when there is a new long term requirement is coming, which will need dedicated help and support in form of feature, in form of products, then they hire a particular, I mean, then they hire the PM or APMs. But normally it's a top down approach. You hire a senior member or experienced person, and they build up a team based on the product or based on the customer sets. In B2E, mostly it could be a partner driven arrangements also.
Got it. And I think we had already talked about how do we hire a PM, but I want to go deep dive on, okay, what are the common interview rounds, right? That are there in a product manager interview. Let's focus on early PMs and let's say freshers who are trying to become a PM.
So after the basic HR screening and everything, I'm considering that that part is already done. If the guy is suitable for the organization, normally I take normally we give them an assignment, to be honest. Okay, and I give them almost 3 to 4 days to complete that particular assignment in the form of PPT or whatever they want, preferred way, and I invite them after completion of that particular assignment. They have to present it. Basically, it's a mini pitch. They don't have to just submit it and I will read it. I want them to pitch it so that it will get reflect that whether that person has created that assignment or not. And if even if they have taken an help or something like that, how he understood the assignment. I know what are the critical things which that guy is considered for giving the solution and everything. So I have to consider all those things. So this is the first round, which I consider as a first round. Assignment is the first round. After the basic screening and shortlisting, this is the first round. Then I call them to the office, or maybe the video call, whatever is available, just to understand the personal side, basically, where apart from the technical skills, I'm more into that, pressure handling and everything, all those things. And the last is a negotiation. So I normally keep it very straight and simple, that if you are there, you need to prove your merit on the basis of assignment rather than your prior education and qualification. So I keep it in that way. In certain other companies, they do it in a different way. They give assignment on the later stage. Normally they have a basic interview with the PM. Depends on PM or APM, then with the tech team also, maybe the tech lead or the CTO, and then they give them the assignment. In my current organization setup, because I'm the decision maker, so I kept it very short and simple. But
So
assignment is something which more or less everyone is going to give you. Like, be prepared for that. Maybe no matter which, no, I mean, a fresher or maybe experience, you will be getting some kind of assignment.
I think can you share some example of let's say assignment questions, like what kind of assignment questions are given?
Okay, so for example, again, if you're hiring for an APM role, I give a particular feature-driven assignment, and if you're hiring for a senior position, then on the higher skills. Not it it will be for the entire product or for a particular solution. So coming back to the APM role, I give them a scenario. For example, certain thing is not working in the current product, or they can select a particular product of their own choice. Okay, certain things are not working. That certain thing could be X, Y, Z, and as a PM, create a strategy around it. Mostly, it's a strategy-driven question, which will include their wireframing skill, their prioritization skills, and their overall execution and delivery skill. Like those parts. So they have to divide the assignment into these parts, and they will be judged on each part. Like what is the strategy, the reason behind that strategy. So I'm not inclined towards the solutioning part. I'm much more inclined towards the way they are explaining and the they have approached the solution. So that is more important for me when you're judging someone.
And the next common thing is, so let's say for all other roles, right? There's some way to upskill. So if they are
Yes,
developer, they would learn about the next frameworks, new technology frameworks that are coming, or they might learn new technologies out, right? Or new
correct.
programming languages. But how should a product manager upskill? So let's say someone is a PM1 and he wants to move to become a senior product manager, right? How should that person upskill themselves?
So apart from all the books, all the podcasts which are already, the list is already available over multiple sites. Apart from that, the key skill as a PM is to become a very, very good observer, be it human, be it object, be it anything. If you're a good observer, it will get reflected in the work which you are doing. Maybe you are creating a PRD just because of your observation, good observation skills. You have covered up the edge cases also, which might occur in certain scenario or situation, but you have already documented, and this will help the entire team. Not just the designer, it will help the QA team also to create those scenarios. कि ऐसा भी हो सकता है क्या? Like that, because you have observed multiple things in past, and this observation is, as I've mentioned, you're observing the people, you're observing the customer, their behavior and everything. So this is a key thing to become observant, uh, and I guess it has helped me a lot in my career. And second is always be curious to know how the business side works, how the dev side works. Maybe you're not aware of the APIs, their structures and everything. Sit with a developer and try to replicate those things. Try to create a basic APIs using Postman. If you're not curious, you're not gonna grow anywhere. So apart from your learnings, I mean the podcast and the books and everything, these are the work training which you have to do on a daily basis. And don't just think that you have become a PM for the next year automatically you will get an upgrade. That might happen because there is no one better in the organization, but if there is someone, you won't get the chance. So keep doing these basic activities on a daily basis.
Got it. I think just to summarize, right? So first is being curious, and second is learn about, let's say, business side, technology side,
Correct.
and design side, right? And
So
also
I
observe
mean,
and learn
the
from.
side which you are not comfortable with, just try to be on that side, not to prove anyone, not to show off, just for your personal reasons. That I want to learn this part. That's all.
Got it. Okay, understood. And the next is you would have given some PM interviews, right? What are some of the tricky questions that you have got in the interview?
So once, I mean, they asked me. I mean, I'm sharing with this experience. They asked me that what is the current process in your organization for delivering task and everything. So I said this is the process, but there are loopholes which which is already out there, and that is creating issues in the team and creating a lot of friction and everything. So they said on the call, they said propose a new framework. So So you're not ready for these questions. No matter how much you are prepared, you're not ready for these questions. But just because you are actually living that, the current process you're living it, you are aware of all the loopholes, and how to improve. Also, you have the suggestions because you're doing it on a daily basis with all the faith. I was able to deliver a basic framework. Obviously, there will be some pros and cons of that framework also, but that person was impressed because first, I handled the situation rather than bogging out. Second, I have presented in a logical way that these are the shortcomings, these are the area, these are the gray areas. But if we can, avoid those gray area, these are the pros because of which the entire team can deliver a particular feature in a short time with better synergy and less friction or something like that. So these are the questions apart from the typical time questions, or maybe top down approach, bottom up approach. Apart from all those things, these are the, once I got a question related to that, what we can say, create a solution. For example, in Mumbai locals, to be specific, every day 2 or 3 people they died because of the accident. They fall from the train. Okay, just because of the crowd and all those situations. So they said that create a solution for fixing this problem. It's not a product management question, but it's a solution question. And they have gave me 20 minutes for the first round of solution, and again 20 minutes for the longer solution. So the uh, no matter how much you prepare, these are the typical question which can come any moment of time. And this is a made up question, to be honest. Based on the situation, based on the circumstances, they give me this particular problem. And yes, these are the very strange questions which I faced.
I think most of them get prepared for software related question, right? Like this metric is down, but suddenly something from a hardware world or let's say real
Correct,
life
correct, correct,
comes
correct.
in,
It's a real life
like mind
question.
becomes blank. Yeah.
Yes. And they just want to judge you that, do you have an answer or not? Or even, are you even trying in a correct way or not? So the way you solve a problem is much more important for them rather than the actual answer. And so whenever you are trying to solve, I mean, for anyone who's trying to solve a particular question, try to focus on the process rather than the outcome, because outcome can be very much different depending on the situation, but the process remains same or similar, that you are breaking down the problems into smaller chunks, then solving a smaller chunk, getting a feedback from that particular thing, then implementing it on the other side also, and again getting the feedback. So it creates a basic process which shows that you have a plan.
The next question is something different, right? Any movie or web series you have watched and you thought, yeah, this from this I've learned a lot about product management.
uh, okay, so there is a, I mean, I've not watched it for a perspective or learning a product management, something like that from a series, but uh, after watching it and then rewatching it, it gave me a different perspective. And the series is Prison Break, series 1, 2, 3 specifically. So the way Michael Scofield, the main character, he creates a plan, and not just plan, backup, and then the backup of the backup. The way he executes with the minute details and everything, and the way he delivers the entire plan, uh, and the team management part. I don't know which team members to be picked for a particular assignment at what time, and when they have to let go of for a particular team member. Everything. So if you're watching that particular series from a product manager perspective, you will learn a lot. Those finer details, finer points. So apart from entertainment, this is, I mean, the best one.
And personally, do you use any resources, any blogs or YouTube channel, and plus also any product leaders you follow in LinkedIn or Twitter from whom you have learned a lot?
Okay, so as I mentioned, information overload is already there. So the moment you
Correct.
open your LinkedIn, you have multiple posts regarding PM kind of frameworks and everything. But apart from that, I follow Roman Pitcher and Neil. Uh, Hooked. You're aware of the book
Yeah, yeah.
Hooked. So these are the two guys who I followed from the initial phases also. I mean, and I follow them like deeply. The blogs, the posts they do, and the articles they share basically. So I've kept it simple. Two or three guys, not more than that, because already you are getting additional stuffs.
Got it. And the last question I had is, okay, technology is coming, AI is coming, right? And there's a lot of news
Yes.
buzz around AI is taking over jobs, right? So what is the future of the product manager role with respective to AI?
Take AI as your buddy, to be honest. Automate your simple task. I believe that documentation part, which takes a lot of time as a PM, it takes a lot of time of yours. If you can automate that process or at least make it easy, and then you use and utilize that particular time for your user insights. Sit with your actual customer. So spend more time on the actual line items rather than just doing the man jobs. So that can be automated, and use technology for automating, articulating your particular PRDs into a simpler way, or the way developer can understand. Definitely use AI on those perspective. And at the end of the day, humans are gonna give prompt to the AI. Correct. They will give up the suggestion. So you should be aware that what kind of question you should ask, and what kind of solution you can expect, and then pick from those. Like you should be so become a better what you can say delegator. You should be aware that when you have to give what kind of task to whom, including AI. AI is your teammate.
So AI is more of like an enabler for product manager to perform their work better and faster.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, let's start considering it in that way, and then definitely it will give you better results rather than fearing from AI.
Got it. So finally, any advice you want to give to the audience? Any tips and tricks or any advice before we conclude the podcast?
Tips. I mean, specifically when you say to the product management tool,
Yeah,
is
product management.
have that, yeah. So have that hunger, like don't let it go. Don't feel like you have created 5 features, 10 different products, and you are a god. Don't even consider yourself like that. Always have that hunger to achieve a bit more, to deliver something extra to your customer, bringing delight. So always think about all those perspective whenever either you are creating a simple drop down also. Just think about what can I do extra. Will it work for in a older mobile also? Just have that emotional link to your features, and it will get reflected. I mean, it gets reflected in your feature, in your design, in your day to day activities. That this person is caring, and second is and as I mentioned, create strong bonds with your team. It helps. Whether you're following a process or not, works get done.
Thanks a lot, Abhijeet, for your time. I think it was really insightful and I also learned a lot. Uh, Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Manu.